What's up, grinders? WesBlom here. South Africa's always had great poker players, but what we've never really had is a proper voice for the community and for the game we love. This is Under the Gun, the South African poker podcast. When I started playing poker and I wanted to know what was actually happening in the poker scene within South Africa, there wasn't really anywhere to go. You'd hear the same names being dropped at the table, the same guys running deep, but no one ever told you who they were, how they got there, or what they were doing differently. Internationally, poker has platforms, podcasts, people talking about it, people tracking it. But locally, unfortunately, we don't. Not because we don't have the talent, but because no one's really telling the story properly. So that's what this is. I am no journalist. I'm a poker player just like you. And I'm in the trenches grinding satellites, playing the events, and battling it out at the same tables with you. I love this game. But this podcast is not about me. It's about using my access and my network and my seats at the table to bring you the people and the stories we don't normally hear. And I'll tell you the truth, it's because I want to see this game grow. More people playing, more people learning, more people actually understanding what South African poker is all about. And the only way this is going to happen is if we start to tell those stories properly. Every month on this podcast, I'm going to be talking about what's happening in South African poker, what's happened, the past events, and what's coming up, both live and online. Who's performing, who's taking home all the money, not just the results and not only just the big events. And when somebody's crushing it, I'm going to bring them on here, not for the hype, but for the story, and to celebrate them actually, and to get to know them away from the table, how they think, how they prepare. I'll also be tracking the South African poker rankings month on month, not to debate them or argue them, but to follow the story. Who's climbing the rankings, who's falling by the wayside, and who's bursting out onto the scenes potentially. And through my network, I'll also be reaching out to some international voices, players competing overseas, as well as people inside the global game, just to give the poker community and poker players some perspective. If you play poker, you know what under the gun means. You're first to act, no information, no hiding, maximum pressure. And that's where I'm going to be putting my guests. This is a monthly podcast, and it's intentional. I'm not rushing this. I'm doing things properly. Episode 1, I've already lined up the players that have been competing internationally in the beginning of this year at the World Series of Poker circuit events, as well as WPT Cambodia. I'm going to let them share their stories, their experiences, and share with the poker community what it's like to compete on an international stage. We're just getting started. So I invite you to join me on this journey. Hit that subscribe button, drop a comment below, and let me know who we should talk to or what are the stories that need to be told. Welcome to Under the Gun. Let's go, baby.